Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson here with me, Anna English, on English Like a Native. Today it's Monday, so we're learning 5 more phrasal verbs. We have some fun and relatively easy phrasal verbs for you today, but ones that you may not already be familiar with. I also have a very special treat for you towards the end of the lesson where I've created a quiz to test you on what you've learnt during this lesson. So I hope that you'll enjoy that. Please do let me know if you like it and you'd like me to do it again in the future. But for now, sit back, relax, and let's get started on those phrasal verbs. So, without further ado, let me introduce the phrasal verbs. Here we go. So last week, the very last phrasal verb we looked at was bottle out. Do you remember this one? To bottle out. It means to suddenly decide not to do something because you're afraid. So we covered that last time, but the new one that we're covering today is to bottle up. So bottle out is to not do something because you're scared, but to bottle up means to contain or suppress your feelings. So if you're feeling upset, for example, if I want to cry because I'm very sad about something, and you keep asking me, Anna, what's wrong? What's the matter? You seem sad. But I don't tell you, I just say, I'm okay, I'm fine. I don't say that I'm actually sad. It means I'm suppressing my feelings. I'm not acknowledging that I'm sad. I'm not telling anyone that I'm sad. I'm just pretending that it's not happening. And we all do at some point, don't we? We all bottle up our feelings. Can you remember the last time you bottled up your feelings? I'm actually very good these days. I used to bottle things up, especially if I was annoyed. If I was angry or annoyed, I would bottle it up and it would make me feel very unwell. These days, if I'm upset about something, as I'm sure you know, if I'm upset about something, then I just say, publicly, I'm upset about this. And I think it helps. So the example sentence using this phrasal verb is, talking about your problems is much healthier than bottling things up. Talking about your problems is much healthier than bottling things up. So, like with every lesson that we have on a Monday, this is a writing practice session. So I want you to try to write a sentence using the phrasal verb bottle up. I've got terrible baby brain at the moment. Baby brain is a phrase that we use when someone is pregnant and they keep getting their thoughts muddled up. So if I say some strange things, please forgive me because today I've got terrible baby brain. So let's have a look to see if you're writing any sentences using bottle up. Patrons, please write it in the patron Skype room so I don't miss your messages. And let's see what I can see here. I've got Jing. Jing says, I bottomed up because of English. Okay, so the phrasal verb, you've written the wrong word there. I bottled up. And then you've put because of English. So this isn't quite clear. The meaning isn't clear. But you're saying, I bottled up because of English. So perhaps you mean that you feel nervous when speaking English, so you bottle up. So you would say, I bottle up when I have to speak English. That still doesn't work because we're talking about suppressing your feelings. So you might say, I bottled up my fears of speaking English. If you have a fear of speaking English, I bottled up my fears of speaking English. I bottled up my fear of speaking English. That works. Does that make sense? I hope so. Lots of familiar faces here in the chat room saying hello everyone. Thank you for dropping by. Okay, Adrian says, despite her anger, she bottled up because she didn't want to offend John. Good. Now I would say, despite her anger, she bottled it up. She bottled it up rather than she bottled up. So normally we put the object in the middle. So she bottled it up. So I'd say she felt angry, but she bottled it up because she didn't want to offend John. That would work better, I think. Okay, then we have I'm getting more irritated about my manager's behaviours lately, and I can't keep bottling up anymore. So I'd say I can't keep bottling it up anymore. That would work. Okay, let's have a look, see if my patrons have dropped in any examples here. So I've got Francesca. Hello, Francesca. You've just joined the Patreon team. Thank you so much for your support. And you said 210,000 subscribers. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate your love and support. Aldous, hello, Georgie. Okay, so some people are typing. So while you're doing that, I'm going to jump back to the notes and let's have a look to see what's next on the list. So we've got bottle up. Then we have bottom out. To bottom out. This means to reach the lowest point, usually before beginning to rise. Now, we're basically talking about when something has been dropping for a long time, or maybe it's been going down for a week. It doesn't have to be a very long time, but it's been going down consistently. We could be talking about, it's usually about economics. So we could be talking about the markets. We could be talking about the price of houses. We could be talking about wages, unemployment. We could be talking about interest rates with the banks. We could be talking about the currency, the markets, the FX markets. So if something is dropping, and then it suddenly stops dropping, it has a bit of a bottom. It creates a bottom. It stops going down, and then it's probably likely to go up again. That's called bottoming out. It bottomed out. Okay? So like I said, this is normally used when talking about rates, economics, finance, those kinds of things. The example sentence I've given is, the economics experts believe that the recession has now bottomed out. The economics experts, wow, that is a tongue twister in itself. The economics experts believe that the recession has now bottomed out. Okay, so I'd like you to have a go, see if you can use that one. I know it's a little more difficult, but those advanced English speakers should be able to give me some example sentences there. Right, so let's have a quick look at my patrons. Hello, patrons, what have we got? Vivian, we should never bottle up our emotion. Instead of doing that, we should always open up our feeling by sharing our deepest feeling to someone who is very close to us emotionally. Very good. I agree with you altogether completely. But when you're writing feeling, let's put an S on the end here. So, because you're talking about it in general, so you have more than one feeling. So we're talking about a group of feelings here, aren't we? So instead of doing that, we should always open up. We should always open up about our feelings. So about our feelings, by sharing our deepest feelings with an S on the end to someone who is very close to us emotionally. Very good. Francesca says, I think I got pounds because I always bottled up my emotions. So I think you're talking about putting on weight. So some people do put on weight when they're stressed, don't they? So I think that's what you mean. If so, we should write, I think I put on weight. I think I put on weight because I always bottled up my feelings. Very good. Very good. Aldous, house prices have bottomed out. Perfect. Well done. You're going to get a love heart from me. Well done. Vivian, I tend to bottle up my emotion. I would put an S here rather than sharing it with family because I don't think they will understand how I feel and what I have been through. Okay, so just a few changes there. And then one more, Francesca, I'd like to buy a flat when the prices are going to bottom out. So Francesca, you'd write, I'd like to buy a flat when the prices bottom out. You don't need this section here. You don't need it. Okay, fantastic. So let me bring my face back. Hi guys. Right, so we're doing very well so far. We're keeping to time. I've got one here in the chat room from Kat, says the money in my bank account bottomed out. Okay, I think that works. I certainly know what you mean. It's been going down and down and down, and now it's just steady. You're no longer losing money. I hope. It's not a sentence I think we would say, but I understand your meaning. I hope that house prices have bottomed out. They actually didn't, says Dima. Yes, house prices are insane generally in the UK. I don't know what it's like in your country, but actually house prices have been going up and up and up. And recently they've had a little dip. And yes, let's hope that they don't go into a free fall. Let's hope that the dip has bottomed out. Okay, so let's have a look at the next phrasal verb on the list. We have bounce back. This is very easy. To bounce back, you're normally talking about a living thing, a person or an animal. And if you bounce back, it means you recover. And normally, to bounce back means that you recover fully and quickly. So you bounce back full of energy. The example sentence I've given for this one is very simple. He is very sick at the moment, but just you mark my words, he will bounce back from this in no time. Now, there's a few things I wanted to point out in this sentence because I'm sure some of these little phrases will confuse you. He's very sick at the moment. It's easy to understand. But just you mark my words. This is a phrase we use meaning listen to me because this is probably going to happen. It means this is going to be the truth. I promise you this will happen. It doesn't mean that it will definitely happen, but the person who is saying this phrase believes very strongly that it will happen. For example, if you are about to jump off the side of a boat into freezing cold water and you think it will be fun and that the water isn't that cold, but I know the water is very cold, I'll say to you, look, if you jump in the water, you will regret it. Mark my words, you will regret it. So I'm basically saying, listen to me because I know the water is freezing. Mark my words, you're going to regret it. So in the example sentence I've used, mark my words. So I'm saying he's very sick at the moment, but listen to me because I know he will bounce back. He will recover from this, whatever it is, from this illness, in no time. And in no time means very, very quickly. We use this a lot. I'll be back in no time. I'll have it finished in no time. It just means very quickly. Okay? So let's have a look at your examples. Let me see if I can find some people who I haven't picked out before. And I can see Ahmed has said, I bounced back from my last surgery operation. Good. Now you don't need to say surgery and operation. You can say, I bounced back from my last surgery. Or you can say, I bounced back from my last operation. They work. Both sentences work. But you don't need to say surgery, operation. We don't put those two together because they're the same thing. Okay? Kumar. Hello, Kumar. You said, is it correct? Everyone was thinking that Brazil would lose the match, but they bounced back. Very good. Yes, they recovered. You can use it in things like sports. It doesn't always have to be illness. It could be if you're behind, if you're losing, but you bounce back, you regain your position. So they regained the lead. That's great. Well done. Oh, bless. Okay, and I just want to say a big thank you. I didn't see when that came through, but Tomek, thank you so much for your super chat. That's very, very sweet of you. You are a very loyal supporter of this channel, and I really appreciate it. And I'm sure that many of the viewers also appreciate your contribution to help this channel to keep growing. Thank you. Okay, so let me have a quick look at my patrons for bounce back, and then we will go on to the next one. Okay, so let me just double check these ones. Vivian previously said the Bank of England intend to bottom out the interest rates as a way to boost economic growth and reduce unemployment in the UK. This is because with lower interest rates, that needs an S on the end, lower interest rates, people tend to borrow more to purchase more things. Yes, I think that's right. Just put an S on the end of rates, interest rates. We always talk about rates plurally. Tend to bottom out. However, I don't know if we would use the phrasal verb bottom out in this sentence. The Bank of England tend to bottom out the interest rates. I can't say with certainty whether that's correct or not, to be honest. It doesn't look right to me, but I'm not sure why it wouldn't be right. So let's just say that's not the best phrasal verb to use in this situation. I'll have a think and come back to you on that one, Vivian. Then we have Georgie. Ticket prices on popular summer destinations bottomed out in February and started to rise since then. Good. Just, I would say, and have started to rise since then. Oh, where did my thumb go? And have started to rise since then. After a few years, so you need an A in there. After a few years, the economy, so you need THE, the economy bounced back. Good. In September, I broke my elbow. Ouch. Make sure you put a space after the punctuation. In September, I broke my elbow, but in a few months, so you have to put a few, always a with the word few. But in a few months, I managed to bounce back and I'm stronger than ever. Other than that little missed article, it's very good. Hello, Garcia. I have to bottle everything up because no one understands me. Oh, I hope that's not true, but that's a very good sentence. Well done. Okay. How many more? Okay, Vivian. Just you, and then we're going to move on to the next phrasal verb. One of the habits of highly effective people is that they will never be discouraged by failure and judgment. In other words, they will never allow those things to talk them out of doing things that they are passionate about. So, in other words, they will never allow other people to talk them out of doing things that they are passionate about because they believe they will bounce back from failure. So you don't need be there either. Okay? Good. And very nice sentiment as well. Right, how are we doing, guys? Are we all right? I hope so. We have 183 people here watching. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. I will just take a moment before we jump into the next phrasal verb to say, if you are not yet subscribed, don't miss out on any future lessons. The bell notification button will make sure that you're notified when I upload a new lesson or when I'm next live. Hopefully, at least that's what it's supposed to do. If you have pressed the bell notification button and you're not receiving notifications, some people have said this to me, then just check your notification settings because sometimes it just needs adjusting to make sure you are receiving a notification for English Like a Native. Okay, so the next phrasal verb is similar to bounce back. It is bounce off. Now, this is an important phrasal verb. So to bounce off, it means to talk about your ideas. I'm just going to show it you on the screen. It means to talk about your ideas or your plans to see what others think about them or to develop them. So, for example, I'm always trying to think of ideas for filming. And if I have an idea about my next video, then I might talk to my friends about it and say, I've got this idea, it's a bit different. What do you think? Or I might talk to my patrons if I have an idea about changing something. And I'm telling them about my idea because I want to know what they think. I want to know if they think it's a good idea or a bad idea. Or if they think it just needs a little bit of adjustment, maybe they can help me to develop the idea. by giving me some more ideas in return. And that is called bouncing off one another. We're bouncing off one another to create something new. Or I'm just bouncing my ideas off somebody else. So in that respect, I'm bouncing my ideas off my patrons. Okay? So to bounce off, to share your ideas, to talk about your ideas or your plans, to see what other people think. Okay? So let's see if you can come up with an example sentence for bounce off. And while you're thinking about that, I'll show you mine. My example sentence is, we have been bouncing some ideas off one another. Oh, I've made a spelling mistake there, sorry. One another recently. Trying to come up with a solid concept for a new building. So in this example, I'm pretending I'm an architect, somebody who draws the plans for a building before a builder then comes and builds the building. So I'm an architect and I've said, we have been bouncing some ideas off one another recently, trying to come up with a solid concept for a new building. Good, nice and easy. So I want you guys now to try and play around with that one to see if you can come up with some examples. And let's have a look what my patrons are saying. Hello, Alexander. Lovely for you to join us. Alexander has said, small children often catch diseases, but they soon bounce back. Very good. I'm going to give you some love for that one. Perfect. Gossier, we're bouncing off with my friends about our new project. So with this one, we're bouncing. I would always say the word idea or plans or, yeah, in this sentence it feels like it needs the word idea or plan. So we're bouncing ideas off. We're bouncing ideas off my friends. So we're bouncing ideas off my friends about our new project. So hope that helps, Gossier. Anna, I want to bounce some ideas off you on the best way to spend time in London. Perfect. Well done. In fact, perfect deserves a heart. Well done. Francesca, every time I am invited to some friend's place, I bounce off my suggestions for sweet so that I know what to bake in order to make everybody happy. So I'd say I put my suggestions in between bounce and off. So every time I am invited to my friend's place, you don't need to put some friends, to my friend's place, I bounce some suggestions, or I bounce my suggestions off. I bounce my suggestions off them. So you need the person who you're bouncing it off afterwards in the sentence. I bounce my suggestions off them regarding, there's a nice new word for you, regarding the sweet. It might be easier to write dessert, that might help. Regarding the dessert, so that I know what to bake in order to make everybody happy. Good. Last one, and then I'll move on. I strongly recommended you to bounce off ideas. Okay, I strongly recommend, get rid of the ed. I strongly recommend that you bounce off your ideas to as many people as possible, especially your target customers. Therefore, you'll be able to make some adjustments before pitching your ideas to our CEO. Apart from at the beginning there, those corrections I mentioned, that was very good. Well done. All right, so we have, I believe, one more to go, and then we have the very exciting quiz, which I'm very excited to share with you. I hope it will work properly. All right, so the very last one is a sports-related phrasal verb, and it's bowl out. Bowl out. When you bowl someone out, it's when you hit someone's wicket in cricket with a ball. Now the wicket in cricket are three poles very close together, and they have a little pole on the top, a little wicket on the top, and it's balanced, and if the ball hits it, then it will fall off, and that means that the player is out. They have to leave the field. So the aim of the bowler who throws the ball To throw the ball in cricket is to bowl the ball. It's the same in anything where you throw a ball, you're bowling it, usually. So you're bowling it, and if you hit the wicket, then you get the other player who is batting out. So you bowl them out. Here is my example sentence. India, so the team who are representing India, India have won today's match by bowling out the opposition. India have won today's match by bowling out the opposition. Easy. Okay, so let's have a look at your examples. I can see one here in the YouTube chat room. Jobin, hello. I don't think I've read out one of yours before. You said, Harry was literally bowled over my Megan's eyes. Now, bowled over is a different phrasal verb altogether. So I would say the phrasal verb is correct. Just change my to by, but it's a different phrasal verb altogether. I'm going to be covering it next time. So what else have I got? Is bowling out used metaphorically too? Perhaps. I wouldn't be surprised. It kind of is ringing a bell. It's not a phrasal verb I use. I'm not a fan of cricket, so I don't really use it. But using it metaphorically to bowl out, it does ring a bell, but I would have to research that. So sorry, I can't give you a straight answer right now. Australia bowled out New Zealand on just 55 runs. Very good, Kumar. Okay, let me have a look at my patrons and then we'll do the exciting quiz. Okay, just Gossia. Marco won the game by bowling out the ball. No capital letter. By bowling out, I wouldn't say the ball because we know the ball is involved because bowling involves a ball being thrown. I would say by bowling out whoever the opposite team is. So it's Marco won the game by bowling out England. Okay, so that's where you'd put the opposition. Someone's asking, are you British? Yes, if you are new here and you're wondering what accent I'm talking with, my accent is a British English accent. A lot of these phrasal verbs can be used in both British English, American English, and other forms of English. Some are specific to British English though, and I'm only covering phrasal verbs that we use here in Britain. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the quiz. I'm hoping it's going to work. I've never done this before. I've created a little video quiz for you. I'm going to talk you through it as we go. So let's just see if you can remember everything we've learnt. Before I do start the quiz, if I can ask you, if you have found this helpful, please do give a thumb up. The more thumbs, the better. It just shows to YouTube that this is a helpful, interesting lesson and should be shared with more people who are looking to learn English. And if you do care to help me even further, then please click on that share button and share this lesson or any other lesson that you find helpful on this channel. Share it with your social media platforms or with your friends or your students if you teach English yourself. Okay, we're coming to the end and we are nearly spot on time. I always aim to make these lessons about 30 minutes long. So here we go with the quiz. Oh no, please go. Okay, what does the phrasal verb bottom out mean? So look at those answers. Which one is the correct answer? Can you figure it out? And the answer is to reach the lowest point. Okay, bounce off. This phrasal verb means to recover. Is that true or false? To bounce off. True or false? It's false. Remember, to bounce off means to talk about your ideas to see what others think. So bowl out is a phrasal verb associated with which sport? Baseball, cricket, football, or golf? Which sport is this associated with? And the answer is cricket. I hope you're getting these right. Is this question correct? Can I bounce some ideas on you later? Is that using the correct phrasal verb or not? Can I bounce some ideas on you later? No. The phrasal verb is bounce off. Remember, not bounce on, bounce off. So can I bounce some ideas off you later? Subscribing to English Like a Native will improve my English and give me superpowers. Is that statement true or false? Of course, it is true. Well, kind of. Okay, I do hope that you enjoyed that quiz. Let me know if you did. If you did, I will do it more often. It does take a little longer for me to prepare the lessons if I have to do it. But if you found it helpful, then it's definitely worth the effort. Okay, so as you can see, scrolling along the bottom of the screen here, the next live lesson is on Friday. However, this Friday it will be at a slightly earlier time of 11 a.m. and that's UK time. So at the moment we're just gone 4:30 in the afternoon. Friday's lesson will be at 11 o'clock in the morning. If you're unsure how that relates to your time, then just Google it. Google time in UK right now, and it will help you to understand the time difference. So 11 a.m. on Friday, and then because we have another bank holiday next Monday, I will not be live on Monday. I will be up a mountain somewhere or in a lake in Wales. I'm going camping for the long bank holiday weekend. Hopefully I will be fine. Probably a little bit uncomfortable. All right, everyone, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget that I am on Instagram, British English Pro, where I'll be sharing lots of pictures and videos from my adventures, and I'll also be helping you with your pronunciation. Patrons, I will stay around to answer some of your questions. Otherwise, everyone have a wonderful week. I'll speak to you very soon. Take care and goodbye. And my software has frozen, so I'll just keep waving until I can get it to go again. Bye, guys.